They betrayed me, my so-called friends. They called me a monster. They cast me out, to die alone in the cold of space. But I did not die. I found a world. I found love. And I watched it burn in fire and ash. Now, there is no mercy, no forgiveness, only war. I am coming back for all of you, and this time, the world will face the fury of World War Hulk.
The war began where the world could not hear it, on the moon. The void was silent, no air, no life, no mercy. And there, in that silence, stood a king, Black Bolt, monarch of the Inhumans, a man whose very whisper could level cities, one of the hands that had voted to cast Hulk into exile. There were no words of welcome, no warning, only the stillness before violence. Then his mouth opened. A whisper erupted like a cannon blast. The lunar surface split apart. Mountains crumbled. Stone turned to dust that hung in the airless dark. The silence of space was ripped wide open. But Hulk did not fall. Step by step, he pushed forward. Each footfall shattered the ground beneath him. Each roar swallowed the scream of a king. And when his fists came down, the moon itself trembled. Black Bolt collapsed in the dust, broken by brute force. The monarch of whispers silenced in his own kingdom of silence. The first reckoning was complete. But Earth would not be spared. Above Manhattan, the sky ignited. A hologram, vast and blazing, swallowed the night. The people froze in terror. Crowds gathered in the streets, staring upward. Children clung to their parents, every eye fixed on a single face. The Hulk, not the Avenger they remembered, not the savior of their world. What looked down on them was something else entirely. Vengeance made flesh. And he named those who would answer Mr. Fantastic, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, the betrayers, the Illuminati, the ones who had stolen his world. If they were not delivered, the Earth itself would burn. The countdown to war had begun. And then the fire fell. Through the clouds, Hulk descended like a meteor. Not a ship, not an army, one man. He hit Manhattan with the force of a bomb. The ground split. Buildings shook. The city froze in terror. From the crater rose the green scar, scarred, furious, unstoppable. And the answer came from the sky. Iron Man, clad in the Hulkbuster, a giant of steel built for one purpose, to bring Hulk down. They collided in the heart of the city, fists against armor. Every blow shook Manhattan. Steel buckled, concrete shattered. And then Hulk broke through. The Hulkbuster staggered, armor sparking under the assault. But Hulk tore through it all. He ripped into the armor, crushing metal like paper. One final strike sent Stark crashing to the ground. The Hulkbuster was broken. Iron Man had fallen. The first hero crushed beneath the green scar. And the world knew the war had begun. Iron Man lay in ruins. But this was only the beginning. The Avengers marched into the streets, and by Hulk's side stood the Warbound, gladiators of Sakaar, bound to him by blood and oath. The city became a battlefield. Steel and fire tore through Manhattan, and the sky burned with explosions. In the chaos, Hulk faced She-Hulk, his own blood, his own family. But there was no mercy. A handful of strikes was enough. Jennifer fell, broken by his fury. Then came the Fantastic Four. The Thing stepped forward. Two titans collided in the heart of the city. Their blows split asphalt. Shockwaves shattered glass across the skyline. For a moment, it seemed Ben Grimm could hold the line. For a moment, there was hope. But Hulk was rage made flesh. He raised both fists and brought them down on Thing's head. One strike. Silence. Ben lay shattered, unconscious, his blood staining the street. The world froze. One more heartbeat, and the Thing would have died. Reed saved him. From a projector burst the vision of the Sentry, a shining figure that halted Hulk for a single second, enough to spare Ben's life. But Reed did not save himself. Hulk stretched his body like rubber and slammed him into the pavement. Sue's shields flared, but they shattered like glass. The Fantastic Four lay broken. Sue, desperate, called out to the Sentry. But he hesitated. The Illuminati had begged him before. Iron Man, Reed. They pleaded for his strength, but the Sentry turned away. He feared his own power, feared that if he faced Hulk, he would burn the world to ash. So he watched from the shadows and remained silent. Then Hulk felt it, a voice inside his mind. Dr. Strange. The sorcerer did not come with fists or fire. He reached with thought. Inside Hulk's mind, Strange found Bruce Banner, and for a moment the man returned. The sorcerer materialized at his side, holding the man within the monster, pleading with him to stay. Bruce opened his eyes. He saw Kyra. He saw Sakaar. He remembered everything he had lost. Grief twisted into fury. Banner was gone, and only the Hulk remained. The green scar struck. One brutal blow, and Strange's hands shattered. The master of the mystic arts fell screaming, broken and helpless, as Hulk marched on. Strange lay defeated, and he knew. To stop the Hulk, he would have to call upon a power that should never be unleashed. Strange spoke the incantation. Then he raised the vessel and drank the elixir, opening his body to the presence of the demon. And then he summoned Zom. His body twisted under alien power, his eyes filled with the fire of chaos. Dr. Strange was gone. In his place stood the host of the demon. Meanwhile, Hulk commanded that an arena be built in the heart of New York City. Madison Square Garden became a coliseum. The stands were packed with terrified citizens, forced to watch the spectacle that, for Hulk, was justice. The Illuminati and the heroes who had betrayed him were cast onto the sand like gladiators, just as he once had been on Sakaar. "This is not revenge," he declared. "This is a lesson." He humiliated his former enemies in public, showing the world how heroes could become slaves, how those who once ruled in secret now fought for survival before his eyes. The city trembled. The crowd held its breath. Hulk had turned New York into his own arena, and then Strange appeared. Not the man they had known, not the sorcerer supreme, but the vessels of the demon Zom. His footsteps rumbled like thunder. Chains of magic coiled around him, ready to strike. Before the eyes of the world, a demon and a monster were about to clash in the heart of New York. Strange struck first. He was no longer a man. Zom's chains coiled around Hulk. Spells crushed the air, the entire city trembling with demonic power. But Hulk was no longer a gladiator or a king. He was fury, and no demon could hold him. One pull, the chains shattered. A second, the spells crumbled to dust. A third, and the green scar's fist broke the sorcerer. Strange fell, broken and defeated, the chaos he had summoned consuming him. Hulk returned to the arena. Madison Square Garden shook with the cries of the crowd. On the sand lay the heroes, the Illuminati and their allies, reduced to gladiators, as he once had been. And then Hulk raised his hand, the thumb, down. The verdict was given. The world froze in silence. And then, the Sentry rose. He left his sanctuary, turned away from his fear, and set out to face the Hulk. The sky over Manhattan blazed with golden light. From the darkness emerged a figure carrying the power of 1,000,000 suns. The Sentry, Hulk's friend, Earth's last hope, the only one who could match him. His descent tore the clouds like lightning. The city looked up and Hulk raised his eyes. For a moment, they stood against each other. Not heroes, not gods. Disasters made flesh, and then they struck. The first collision split the air. Every blow was an explosion, every movement a shockwave. Skyscrapers crumbled under their fury. The heavens burned as if the sky itself was falling. Hulk and the Sentry fought like living nuclear bombs. Rage against light, friendship turned to apocalypse. They fought until their bodies could no longer endure. Strength burned out of their muscles. The fire of power consumed their souls. At last, both crashed to the ground, no longer gods, but men. Bruce Banner and Robert Reynolds. Exhausted, helpless. And then the truth came out. It was not the Illuminati who destroyed Sakaar. They had not killed his kingdom. It was Miek who had provoked the explosion. He had hidden the betrayal because he wanted war, because he wanted Hulk to never know peace, because he wanted hatred to last forever. The world watched as Hulk's power rose beyond measure. Every step split the earth. Every breath threatened the end of the world. And then, in a moment of clarity, Bruce broke through the fury. "Stop me," he ordered, "before I destroy everything." Orbital cannons opened fire, beams scorched the streets, stunned the Green Scar, and finally brought him down. Hulk fell, not defeated in battle, but because he gave himself into the hands of those who had betrayed him. This was World War Hulk, a war of gods, heroes, and monsters, a war that shook the earth to its core. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like, subscribe for more epic Marvel sagas, and join me next time